Have you ever walked past a brand new condo tower in Vancouver and wondered how are people able to buy these homes years before the building even existed? That's the world of pre-sales. And in today's video, I'm going to break down exactly what pre-sales are, how they work in Vancouver, why developers rely on them, why buyers choose them, and what risks you should be absolutely aware of before signing a contract. I'm Shahrad Sardari, a realtor here in Vancouver, and by the end of the video, you'll know exactly what pre-sales are and whether you should consider one for yourself. At its core, a pre-sale is when you buy a home before it's actually built. Instead of walking into a finished unit, you're purchasing based on floor plans, brochures, computer renderings, and a display suite that's supposed to tell you what it will look like. Now here's the key. Depending on the project, a pre-sale could mean a home that's ready to move in right away, one that's a few months from completion, and one that won't be finished for 3 to 5 years. For this video, I'll mainly focus on the typical 3 to 5 year model because that's where most of the opportunities and risks are. But just keep in mind that move-in ready pre-sales do exist and they work a little differently, so I'll cover them in a separate video. So why do developers even sell homes years before completion? The main reason is financing. In Vancouver and really across Canada, banks require developers to pre-sell a certain percentage of the building before they release construction financing. In other words, developers need those early sales to prove to the bank that there's enough demand for the project. Without those contracts, the building can't even get off the ground. Pre-sales reduce the developer's risk, they bring in deposit money that can help with cash flow, and they make the entire project possible. So when you see a big launch event for a new tower, that's not just marketing, that's the developer meeting very real requirements to secure funding and move forward. Now let's flip it. Why do buyers choose pre-sales? There are a few main reasons. Number one, locking in a price today. If you believe the Vancouver market will appreciate over the next 3 to 5 years, buying at today's price can be a huge advantage. Number two, you only need a small deposit upfront, and you don't need to get a mortgage or have a full down payment until the building is complete. That means you get years to save, invest, or prepare your finances before you actually need to qualify for a mortgage. Number three, selection and customization. At launch, you might get to pick your floor plans, exposures, and sometimes even finishing options, which is something you cannot do in resale. And number four, for some buyers, it's simply lifestyle planning. Maybe they don't need the home today, but they know in 3 years they'll want to downsize, or they'll need a place for their kids, or they want an investment property lined up. A pre-sale allows them to plan ahead. Here's how the mechanics of a pre-sale actually work. When you buy a pre-sale, you're not paying the full price of the home right away. Instead, you're asked for a deposit, which is a percentage of the total purchase price. The deposit acts as your commitment to the purchase, and later on, it will get applied to your down payment when the building is ready. A typical structure looks like this: 5% within a week of signing, another 5% within 6 months of signing, and another 5% 12 to 18 months after signing, for a total of 15%. In some cases, the deposit can be as low as 5% in total, depending on the project and the incentives being offered. A good realtor can sometimes negotiate lower deposits or stretch them out over a longer period of time if that makes the purchase more manageable. That deposit money doesn't go directly to the developer. By law, it's held in a trust with a lawyer or notary until completion, which gives buyers protection. You'll also have a rescission period, which in BC is currently 7 days. That's your cooling off window where you can cancel the contract for any reason and get your deposit back. Now, pre-sales can range widely. They can include units that are already complete or nearly done, but in most cases, you're looking at projects that are 3 to 5 years away. That's where the true pre-sale experience comes in, securing something today and waiting for construction to finish. And one of the key points to know is that prices of pre-sale units are set out by the developer, but they aren't always fixed in stone. In slower markets, a good realtor can negotiate discounts, upgrades, or free add-ons like parking or storage. But in a hot market, developers know they can sell quickly, so they're usually unwilling to budge. Of course, pre-sales aren't without risk, and this is where a lot of buyers get caught off guard. Risk number one is that the market may shift. If prices fall by the time your unit completes, you could be paying more than the condo is actually worth. Risk number two is qualifying for financing. You might qualify today, but interest rates, lending rules, or even your own financial situation can change over the years. When it comes time to complete, you have to be ready. Risk number three is construction timelines. While delays can't go on forever, they do happen, and you need to be comfortable with that uncertainty that there may be delays. Risk number 4 is developer reliability. Most of the big developers in Vancouver deliver as promised, but there have been cases of projects being cancelled or altered. If that happens, you do get your deposit back, but you lose years of time and the chance to buy in a different market. And risk number 5, limited control. Once you have signed, you can't change much. You're locked into that contract and subject to the developer's timelines and execution. The important thing to know is that all of these risks are manageable with the right planning and guidance. The key is understanding them upfront and preparing properly. So, should you buy a presale? The answer really depends on your situation. If you're a first-time homebuyer in BC, presales can be one of the best options for you. You're in a unique position where you can save on GST, save on property transfer tax, and move into a brand new home. If you qualify for a mortgage right now, you might look at something that's already built and move-in ready or completing soon. But if you're not quite there yet, a project finishing in 2 or 3 years gives you time to save, build credit, and increase your income, all while you can secure the unit in today's prices. Presales also make sense if you're financially stable. If you can qualify for a mortgage both now and in the future, and if you're comfortable with a long time horizon, then it allows for long-term planning. They're especially good for people at the start of their financial journey. Maybe you're early in your career and you know your income will grow over the next few years, or you need time to save for a larger down payment, or maybe you just need some more time to build up your credit score. A presale gives you that window, you secure a home today, and you get years to prepare financially for the day that you move in. If you want to dive deeper into the exact step-by-step process on how to buy a presale, check out my other video where I walk through the entire process in detail.